Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. Staying hungry isn't about a moment. It's about a mindset. You see, hunger is what separates the average from the great. The hungry don't wait for opportunities, they create them. They don't settle for just enough, they chase greatness like their life depends on it. When you're hungry, you don't make excuses. You find solutions. You don't blame others, you take responsibility. Don't be at them negotiate. Yeah, how we doing? You wake up early, grind through pain, push past rejection, and keep moving, even when no one is clapping for you. Stay hungry. Because the moment you get comfortable, stay hungry. And I promise, the world will know your name. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you stop looking for permission. You'll stop worrying about what others think. You'll stop playing small. You'll own your path, your pain, your power, and you'll walk with purpose every step of the way. That's the level it takes. That's the mindset that creates change. That's the hunger that builds empires, changes legacies, and inspires the world. So don't just want it, need it. Live it, become it, stay hungry. When you're truly hungry for success, discipline is no longer a choice, it becomes a natural outcome. You don't need someone to remind you to get up early, to stay focused, or to practice your craft. Hunger becomes your internal alarm clock, your motivator, your fire. It's the silent voice that whispers in your ear when your body wants to quit, when distractions call your name, and when it seems like giving up will be easier. That hunger inside you, when it's real, won't let you stop. It won't let you settle. It will demand more from you. Every single discipline is often mistaken as this rigid, painful routine, but for someone who's hungry, it's a privilege. It's not about punishment, it's about purpose. The hungry person doesn't dread the grind, they crave it. They know that every rep in the gym, every page they read, every failure they analyze, every early morning or late night is all stacking up into something bigger. The discipline doesn't come from external rules. It comes from internal drive. That drive is so loud, so constant, it overpowers laziness, fear, and excuses. The hunger becomes stronger than any excuse. People who are merely interested in success often rely on motivation. They look for a spark from a video, a quote, a song, something to get them going. But the hungry, they don't need a spark. They are the fire. That's why discipline becomes their second nature, because they're not waiting to feel like it, they just do it. Whether they're tired, upset, or uninspired, they show up. They produce, they build. And the reason is simple. Their hunger is greater than their comfort. Let me be clear. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It means consistency. It means doing the hard things even when no one is watching. It means holding yourself accountable when you can get away with cutting corners. Hungry people hold themselves to higher standards even when no one else does. Why? Because they're chasing something that others can't see. They're working for results that haven't shown up yet, but in their mind, it's already real. That vision of success fuels their behavior long before success ever arrives. Hunger and discipline work together like fuel and fire. The more hunger you have, the more disciplined you become. The more disciplined you become, the closer you get to the thing you're hungry for. It becomes a cycle of growth. Most people break that cycle because they listen to their feelings instead of their goals. They sleep in because they're tired. They skip the gym because it's raining. They procrastinate because they're stressed. But the hungry, they operate from vision, not emotion. They don't make decisions based on how they feel. They make decisions based on who they want to become. Discipline born from hunger isn't loud. It's quiet. It's in the choices no one sees. Choosing to study when your friends are partying. Choosing to save when you could spend. Choosing to train when no competition is near. That quiet grind, that's where champions are made. That's where greatness is built. Behind closed doors, in silence. Fueled by hunger that never sleeps. Now let's be real. There will be days when discipline feels impossible. Days when you're drained, when your faith is shaken, when failure seems constant. This is where hungry becomes critical. Because in those moments, motivation will fail you. But hunger, it stays. It reminds you of why you started. It reminds you of your dream, of the life you said you wanted. And that reminder, that's what keeps you going. That's what gets you back up. That's what makes you lace up your shoes and take one more step, even if your legs feel like giving out. Hunger turns discipline into devotion. It's no longer about what you have to do. It becomes about what you get to do. Every day you have a chance to work toward your dream, you're grateful. You don't see the grind as a burden, but as a blessing. You treat your responsibilities as opportunities. And that shift in perspective, it multiplies your efforts. Because now you're not just working hard, you're working with heart. It's a different kind of energy. That's what makes people unstoppable. Think about the greats in any field: sports, music, business, art. They didn't get where they are by doing the bare minimum. They got there because they stayed hungry long after others got full. They kept training, creating, evolving. When others celebrated too soon, they got back to work. When others relaxed, they pushed harder. That's the power of hunger. It doesn't let you rest on yesterday's success. It drives you toward what's next. So if you truly want to change your life, don't focus on discipline first. Ignite your hunger. Ask yourself, how bad do I want it? What am I willing to give up to get it? What pain am I willing to go through to reach it? Because once the hunger is real, the discipline will follow. You won't need someone to coach you through the basics. You'll wake yourself up. You'll hold yourself accountable. You'll build your own path. And in the end, when you reach that goal, when you hit that milestone, the world will see the success, but only you will know the story behind it. The early mornings, the late nights, the lonely grind, the silent tears, the sacrifices no one clapped for. That was hunger. That was discipline. That was you stay hungry. Because the moment you lose your hunger is the moment you stop chasing growth. And the ones who keep growing, they're the ones who change the game. They're the ones who make history. Be that one. Stay hungry, stay disciplined, and never stop chasing what set your soul on fire. Comfort is one of the most dangerous things when you're chasing greatness. The moment you start feeling satisfied, the moment things feel good enough, that's when your ambition starts to shrink. Comfort isn't just about physical ease. It's a mental trap. It lulls you into thinking you've done enough, that you've earned the right to slow down. But success is not a finish line you cross once and forget about. It's a moving target, always evolving, and only those who stay uncomfortable, who keep pushing, keep growing, can keep up. When you look at the people who've done something extraordinary, you'll notice a common thread. They're never satisfied. They don't rest on what they've already accomplished. They stay hungry because they know the truth. Comfort kills ambition. It doesn't happen overnight. It's slow, subtle. One skipped workout, one day off from the grind, one excuse, and before you know it, you've lost your edge. The fire that once fueled you starts to dim, and in its place you find routine, safety, and predictability. But here's the problem. Greatness doesn't live in safety. It lives in risk, in discomfort, in sacrifice. The gym hurts. The study hours are long. The rejection stings, and the failures are heavy. But all that is the price of growth. Comfort will try to convince you that it's okay to slow down, that you've done enough. But the truth is, if you're not growing, you're dying. There's no standing still in this life. You're either moving forward or falling behind. The people who keep rising, who keep climbing, who keep leveling up, they're the ones who constantly put themselves in uncomfortable positions. They switch routines. They take on challenges that scare them. They embrace the unknown. Why? Because they know that the best version of themselves is always just outside their comfort zone. Every time they stretch themselves, every time they do something new, they unlock a new level of discipline, skill, and confidence. Think about an athlete. The moment they stop training like they're still fighting for a spot on the team, they start to decline. Their reaction time slows, their conditioning fades, and someone hungrier comes along and takes their place. It's the same in business, in education, in relationships. Comfort breeds complacency, and complacency is the enemy of excellence. The moment you say, I've made it, is the moment you stop trying to get better. There's a reason discomfort feels so hard. It's because growth is painful. You have to push past limits. You have to face fears. You have to admit you don't have it all figured out, right? But the pain of growth is always better than the pain of regret. Regret comes from knowing you had more in you, but you chose ease over effort. You chose the couch over the challenge. You chose now over the future. And that kind of pain lasts a lifetime. Real growth doesn't come from what's easy. It comes from doing the things that scare you, the things that challenge you, the things that require discipline and sacrifice. When you force yourself into discomfort, something powerful happens. You learn, you adapt, you evolve. And that evolution is where greatness is born. Every struggle, every failure, every uncomfortable moment becomes part of your foundation. So the goal is not to eliminate discomfort, it's to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Make it your normal. Wake up early, take the cold shower, have the hard conversation, go after the big dream that feels just out of reach. Because every time you choose discomfort, you grow. Every time you say no to comfort, you say yes to progress. Most people won't do this. Most people choose average because average feels safe. It doesn't challenge them. It doesn't stretch them. It lets them coast. But average is crowded. It's noisy. It's forgettable. Greatness, on the other hand, is rare. It's quiet. It's earned. And it's only for those who refuse to settle. Ask yourself this. Are you playing to win or just playing not to lose? If you're just trying to avoid failure, you'll stay in your comfort zone forever. But if you're chasing something bigger, if you want to create a legacy, if you want to become someone that inspires others, you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. Everyone. Single. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Everyone has a dream. Everyone wants more. But only a few are willing to do what it takes. Only a few will keep pushing when the applause stops. Only a few will sacrifice comfort for progress. So don't chase comfort, chase the grind, chase the growth, chase the stretch. Be the person who trains when they're tired, who studies when they'd rather sleep, who invests when it's risky, because that person, that's the one who builds something lasting. That's the one who becomes a leader, an example, a force. At the end of the day, comfort might feel good in a moment, but it leaves you empty long term. It gives you short-term pleasure and long-term regret. But discomfort is tough now, but it builds a future you can be proud of. So if you want to do something extraordinary, if you want to make your mark, step out of the comfort zone. Burn the bridge behind you, go all in. Because in the end, no one remembers the people who played it safe. They remember the ones who risked, who stretched, who never settled. Be that one. Stay uncomfortable, stay driven, and stay hungry. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, nothing else matters. That phrase isn't just a catchy line. It's the truth that separates the average from the extraordinary. It means that your desire has to be so strong, so deep, so unshakable that quitting is not an option. It means you're willing to sacrifice sleep, comfort, time, and even relationships if they stand in the way of your dream. When you want something that badly, your mind, your energy, your entire being becomes locked in. You're not interested in excuses, distractions, or delays. You're focused on results. There's a difference between wanting something and needing it. Wanting is passive. It's a wish, a hope, something you'd like to have if the stars align. But needing it is desperate. It's active. It says, I won't breathe right until I achieve this. That kind of hunger gives you an edge. It makes you do things success doesn't come to the talent. It pushes you to get up early. It doesn't come later. And keep going to when your body is begging you to stop. The people who are so committed to their dream that they're willing to outwork, outlast, and outfight everyone else in the room. They show up when others quit. They train while others rest. They stay focused when others are distracted. And why? Because their why is bigger than their obstacle. If you've ever been underwater and tried to hold your breath, you know the feeling. That tightness in your chest, that burning in your lungs, that panic as your body screams for air. That desperation, that urgency, that's what it means to want success as bad as you want to breathe. When you hit that level, you don't care how tired you are. You don't care how hard it is. You don't care who doubts you. Most people don't live like that. Your purpose is louder than your pain. Most people live in the gray zone. They kind of want it. They sort of try. They dabble. They see how it goes. And that's why they never break through. You can't kind of want greatness. You can't have try. Life will test you. It will throw setbacks, delays, failures, and disappointments in your path. And if you don't want it bad enough, those things will stop you. True hunger makes you unstoppable. It gives you tunnel vision. While other people are sleeping, you're working. While they partying, you're grinding. While they doubting, you're believing. Hunger fuels discipline. It drives sacrifice. It creates consistency. And consistency is the difference between those who try and those who succeed. There will be days when you feel like giving up. Days when it seems like nothing's working. But that's when your hunger has to kick in. That's when your why has to be so strong that it pulls you through. You don't stop because it's hard. You keep going because it's worth it. Every challenge is just another layer being peeled back until the world finally sees the version of you that you see in your mind. There are no shortcuts, no secrets, no magic formulas, just effort, repetition, and heart. The people who rise to the top don't get there by accident. They get there by choosing every single day to keep going. They get there by being the most committed person in the room. They want it so badly that nothing, not fear, not failure, and it's not just about career or money or status. It's about becoming the person you were meant to be. It's about knowing you gave it everything you had, that you didn't waste your gift, that you didn't leave any potential on the table, that when it's all said and done, you didn't just exist, you live with purpose, with intensity, with hunger.